Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew and you're watching Drew Theme Park Dude. In today's video I'll be giving my thoughts on Nickelodeon Universe located at American Dream Mall in New Jersey. Before I begin, it would mean a lot if you could hit that subscribe button as well as the like button to support the channel. Now, off to the video. In late July, I got the opportunity to visit Nickelodeon Universe, located inside the second largest shopping mall in America, American Dream in New Jersey, roughly 30 minutes outside New York City. The park itself is pretty large and consists of several family rides and thrill rides as well as mini roller coasters. Pricing varies by day and the time you buy the tickets, which can be found on their website. I only had limited time, so instead of purchasing the $70 unlimited wristband, I opted for the points option where you pay for a ride, which turns out I saved a lot of money doing it that way. This was because, like I said, I had limited time and could only stay roughly for an hour and a half. All the coasters and more intense rides cost $12 per ride, while the smaller, more family rides, play areas, or whatever cost about $8. Unfortunately, one of the park's coasters, Sandy's Blast and Bronco, was closed when I visited, but definitely love to return to check it out as it looked like a fun ride. The main rides I rode while I was there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shellraiser, The Shredder, and Timmy's Half-Pipe Havoc. All three were coasters and had roughly a 10 to 20 minute line while I was there. The majority of the park is heavily themed flat rides with lots of Nickelodeon statues and also some pretty solid theming, like, there was this really interesting SpongeBob thing on the side. There was this really cool temple, a ropes course in the back themed after some old game show that was on Nickelodeon. So there was some neat theming spread throughout the park. There isn't any designated themed areas though, but there are tons of SpongeBob and Ninja Turtles, which I noticed over everything else, which probably makes sense since those are probably Nickelodeon's biggest two properties as of right now. But yeah, there's also other attractions based off Fairly OddParents, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Paw Patrol, Blue's Clues, and much more. The park also has many walk-around characters that meet throughout the day and are actually free of cost for anyone due to the park really having free entry, and you just pay for rides and access to the actual individual attractions, because it's kind of like Fun Spot here in Orlando where you just walk in and then you pay per ride. That's how it is now over at Nickelodeon Universe. So starting off with the first ride I rode was the Shredder. It's a Gerstlauer spinning coaster and happens to be the tallest and longest free-spinning full-circuit coaster in the entire world. The ride is full of airtime moments and quick drops and twists that made this a very solid coaster and definitely recommended for every guest that is interested in riding this type of ride. Next up was Shellraiser, which leads me to my second major ride I rode. This was a very fun attraction. Has a vertical lift hill, has a launch, beyond vertical drop, many inversions, and just really is crazy. It's also manufactured by Gerstlauer and is a Eurofighter model. This is the world's steepest coaster with an 121.5 degree drop. So imagine going down 90 degrees straight drop, but instead you curve inward going down by an extra 31 degrees. Like, that's basically what this was. So it was very interesting to, experience that type of force on a coaster. But once you get to the top of the lift hill, you get this beautiful view of the New York City skyline thanks to this glass window. It was easily my favorite ride in the park and definitely a must for all thrill seekers. It literally is probably a top 15 coaster of mine, and I've ridden 97. People say it's rough. I personally had no issue with the ride's roughness, and I was sitting in the front and the middle where it tends to be more rough on rides, and I was, it's only 2 rows, so it's not, going to make a huge difference, and I was in the middle, and it wasn't too bad. The restraints do get pretty tight on you, I will say that, so I would just make them as tight as they can when you get on, so it's not like a big shocker when you hit the brake run before you go up the lift hill that, it's kind of struggling, just so you can get used to it while you're going through the coaster layout. But yeah, the final main ride I rode was Timmy's Half-Pipe Havoc, which is this fun, smaller coaster with spinning seats, and you go back and forth. It was fun, it was alright, it wasn't this crazy ride, but, offered some solid airtime and was worth checking out. So, those were the main rides I got to check out at the park. Like I mentioned earlier, the park's other big coaster, Sandy's Blast and Bronco, was closed, and the other coaster, Slime Streak, the family coaster, had a very long line and just really wasn't worth checking out because it seemed kind of simple enough, but it did appear that it offered some pretty good views of the park as it does wrap around the entire park. But, the park itself definitely is worth checking out if you plan accordingly. If you only have a limited amount of time, don't spend the extra money on an unlimited wristband when you can do the point system, because a lot of the complaints I've seen about this park have been the pricing. But if you do the point system, because let's say you're only trying to do the coasters, it's cheaper to do the points than to pay for the wristband. And if you go on a peak summer weekend day, then it's just going to be, more worth doing the point system because it's going to be long lines. You're probably only going to get on a few rides anyways. And yeah, it's just a very good alternative to instead of paying for the limited wristband. The longest I waited was about 25 minutes, but keep in mind they do sell their own version of FastPass, but this can only be purchased with the purchase of a unlimited wristband. You can't purchase the fast pass for point rides, which kind of makes sense. I mean, why would you want to, buy this huge fast pass, which I think was around $50 for when you're only going to do a couple rides that are probably worth less than that with the points. So that does make sense. But yeah, I had a really fun afternoon at this park, and definitely need to head back again, the next time I'm in New York City, as it's only around 20 minutes away without traffic from the city. But yeah, Nickelodeon Universe, great park. Definitely recommend checking it out. It's a fun, small park. I mean, it's not a huge spend your whole day here park, and it can get pricey, but if you do it accordingly with, the point system, or if you are there all day to go for the unlimited wristband, and maybe even the fast pass, you can have a blast here just like I did. Definitely do recommend checking this park out. Thank you so much for reaching the end of the video. I have so much more content from this trip heading to the channel soon, where I also visit Six Flags Great Adventure and Dollywood. But yeah, also I'm covering Halloween Horror Nights this fall, so be able to stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe for future content. Have a great day, everyone. See ya. Bye.